The moment my life spun out of control, it was all just a joke. At least, that's how I saw it. It was a scorching summer day in London, and the plaza in front of Buckingham Palace was packed. Everyone was vying for the best Instagram photo. Kids were getting sticky ice cream all over their hands. And then there was me, Nigel Cartwright, 40-something, one of those boisterous types who thought the world was my personal stage. My cowboy hat was a little askew, and I was swaggering around with barbecue sauce in hand. I wanted attention, and I'd found my target. One of the Queen's elite guards, Elijah Cross. 26-year-old Elijah, uniform immaculate, gaze sharp, embodying discipline. His face was impassive, but there was an intensity in his posture that suggested he missed nothing. I couldn't resist. I called out to my friends, "You guys think these guards are real? Or are they just fancy statues the Brits trot out?" My friends chuckled nervously. I could sense some of them were uncomfortable. Tourists were starting to turn and look. Sensing a show about to begin, emboldened by the attention, I approached, barbecue sauce still in hand. My grin was smug and utterly clueless. "You know what this guy needs?" I asked, holding the sauce bottle aloft like a trophy. A little British hospitality. The guard didn't flinch, didn't even blink. This just egged me on more. Leaning in, I spoke in a mocking tone. "Come on, lighten up a little. You ever smile? Or is it against the rules? Maybe this will help." And with a flick of my wrist, I inverted the bottle. Thick, gloopy barbecue sauce splattered across Elijah's pristine uniform, staining the white stripes a dark crimson. Silence fell over the plaza. You could hear people breathing. Everyone turned to see what had happened. Elijah stood stock still, his expression unchanging. But anyone watching closely might have noticed his fingers tighten slightly on the hilt of his ceremonial sword, oblivious to the tension. I threw my head back and roared with laughter. See? The guy didn't even move. Now that's commitment. I turned back to my friends, but they weren't laughing anymore. A sharp voice from the crowd cut through the air. "Hey, that's not funny. What's wrong with you?" Suddenly, I froze. My grin faltered. I realized the mood had shifted. The tourists who'd been watching with mild amusement now looked angry, or worse, disgusted. Elijah moved, just one step, slow and deliberate. But that single step was like thunder. My cocky demeanor crumbled into uncertainty. "Well, big fella," I stammered, raising my hands in a mock surrender. No need to get all serious. It was just a joke. Elijah's gaze remained unchanged. He wasn't a statue anymore. He was a storm brewing on the horizon, and I was starting to feel the wind change direction. The crowd buzzed with whispers. Everyone was wondering what would happen next. Phones came out. Cameras were rolling. This wasn't just a tourist attraction anymore. This was the kind of story that would be told long after the summer heat had faded. I didn't know it yet, but I had crossed a line you shouldn't cross. The air was so thick with tension, you could cut it with a knife. Just as the plaza seemed about to explode, a voice boomed through the murmuring crowd. "London police." Everyone stepped back. Heads snapped to the direction of the command. Two uniformed police officers were pushing their way through the throng of onlookers. Their serious expressions silenced the whispers. The crowd parted like the Red Sea, and suddenly all eyes were on me, my cool bravado evaporating like water on hot pavement. One officer approached Elijah. His voice was calm but authoritative. "Are you all right, sir?" Elijah gave a curt nod. His face was as impassive as ever. He didn't say a word, didn't need to. His silence spoke volumes. This wasn't the first time, and probably wouldn't be the last. The other officer turned to me, standing there like a kid caught stealing cookies before dinner. "You've assaulted a royal guard. You're under arrest." My face contorted in exaggerated disbelief. "Assault? You gotta be kidding me. It's just barbecue sauce, mate." I gestured to the stain on Elijah's uniform, as if that explained everything. The officer didn't even blink. "I suggest you save your explanation for the station, sir. My protests were lost in the murmuring crowd, their curiosity turning to judgment. Phones were still recording, capturing every second of my public meltdown. "You're embarrassing yourself," someone yelled. Another voice chimed in. "Serves you right." My face flushed crimson, though whether from anger or humiliation, I wasn't sure. When the officer produced handcuffs, the energy in the plaza shifted again. There was a strange satisfaction in watching the smug joker squirm as the cuffs clicked into place. As I was led towards a police car, the crowd couldn't resist their commentary. "Disgraceful. Don't mess with the royal guard." Even a kid piped up, "Serves you right." Inside the police car, I made one last attempt to salvage my ego. "This is ridiculous. You guys have no sense of humor. It was just a joke. Everyone loves barbecue sauce." The officer in the front seat didn't even turn around. "Whatever you say, pal." As I spiraled towards the worst day of my life, the internet was doing what it does best, turning my entire debacle into a viral sensation. The video was everywhere. Headline with things like "Comedy Gone Wrong," "Texan Tourist versus Royal Guard," 1-0, "How to Ruin Your Vacation in Under 10 Seconds." The comments were pouring in by the thousands. "Why do people think this kind of thing is okay? Props to the guard for staying professional. I would have lost it. This is why England can't have nice things." Back at home, Elijah's phone was buzzing nonstop. Messages of support flooded in from friends, colleagues, even strangers. The world had noticed his composure, and many were hailing him as a hero for his stoicism. But as he stared at the screen in his small, tidy apartment, he felt more exhaustion than triumph. Sure, the internet loved him today, but tomorrow would move on to the next big thing. The barbecue sauce would come out of his uniform, but the memory of the humiliation wouldn't fade so easily. His mother's voice broke through his thoughts. "You did good today, son," she said softly, placing a hand on his shoulder. Elijah gave her a small smile. "Thanks, Mom." But inside, he knew it wasn't a victory. It was just another reminder of the daily battles most people never saw. The next morning, I woke up feeling like I'd been through a bender, but I hadn't touched a drop of alcohol. It wasn't a headache or dry mouth that hit me. It was a relentless buzzing of my phone and the dawning realization that things had gone seriously sideways. Groaning, I grabbed the phone from the nightstand. The screen barely loaded at first. It was flooded with notifications, messages, missed calls, and was that my face on the news app? I scanned the headline, "American Tourist Humiliates Royal Guard. Backlash Ensues." My stomach clenched. "Viral," I muttered, heart pounding. Oh, boy. I didn't have to look far to see how bad it was. Every platform was saturated with clips of my antics, and the comment sections were brutal. "This guy is why tourists get such a bad rep. Props to the guard for staying calm." I wouldn't have. "That's the most Texan thing I've ever seen, and not in a good way." The memes were even worse. One had my face plastered on a ketchup bottle, captioned, "When your sauce is your personality." Another featured Elijah's stoic image, text reading unbothered, unmoved, unmatched. Before I could even start damage control, my phone rang. It was my boss. The voice on the other end was tight, curt, and definitely not kidding around. "We need to talk, Nigel." My attempt at a breezy "Hey, what's up?" fell flat. "We've seen the footage. Everyone's seen the footage. This is a PR nightmare for us, and frankly, we can't afford to be associated with this." Wait, I stammered, scrambling to sit up in bed. "It's not what it looks like. It was just a joke." "Doesn't matter." My boss cut me off. "You're fired. Effective immediately. We'll mail your final paycheck." The line went dead before I could even respond. I stared at my phone. The gravity of the situation crashed down on me. It didn't end there. My social media accounts, once filled with photos of barbecue competitions and fishing trips, were locked down for violations. Friends who used to chuckle at my jokes weren't returning my messages. Even my neighbors were giving me side eye when I went outside. The final blow came when a news van pulled up in front of my house. A reporter hopped out, microphone in hand, ready to ask the barbecue scandal guy for comment. I slammed the curtain shut and slumped onto the couch. I could hear voices outside, neighbors gossiping. "Honestly, it doesn't surprise me," one said. "He's always been like that." "Yeah," another chimed in. "Thinks he's better than everyone else. Guess karma caught up with him." Meanwhile, Elijah was trying to keep his life as normal as possible, but normal was a thing of the past now. His inbox was overflowing with messages from strangers, thanking him for his composure, declaring him a role model, even requesting interviews. He finally agreed to a short interview with a local news channel, sitting in his small, tidy apartment. He kept his words simple and direct. "This isn't about me," Elijah said, his voice steady. "It's about something bigger. We shouldn't accept disrespect or prejudice. It's not just about what happened yesterday. It's about what we tolerate as a society." The clip aired that evening, and viewers were captivated by Elijah's grace under pressure. Back in Texas, I, Nigel, sat alone in my dimly lit living room. My barbecue sauce-stained cowboy hat sat on the coffee table, a bitter reminder of the day my life went up in flames. I scrolled through my phone, but the messages weren't from friends. They were from strangers tearing me apart. For the first time, Nigel had no joke, no comeback. The laughter, the bravado, the confident grin, all gone. He was left with a stark, undeniable truth. A single moment of arrogance had cost him everything. If you were in Nigel's shoes, how would you handle the situation? Do you think it could have ended differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you, or someone you know, ever experienced something similar? Let us know your stories. Your stories matter. And remember to like, share, and spread the word. This story was created to shed light on important issues, raise awareness, and inspire positive change. Your voice can help make the world a better place. Your opinion matters. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our stories.